Hey guys, Kniraven here to give my first weekly update on The Murder, which is our PvP MMORPG book club that we've started, where we delve into different video games together in what we're calling chapters, where we pick a game and week to week we assign tasks for the group to complete. Every couple weeks we meet up, we talk about our experiences, what we thought about the story, the game system, the PvP, the graphics, just every aspect of the game. We do this in order to learn about new games, become more knowledgeable about MMORPGs, to have fun and participate in a gamer community where we can interact with each other and do things at our own pace, but at a set pace. Essentially, we can do all these tasks on our own time, but we're also working together to do things by the same deadline. Anyway, if that sounds like fun, be sure to check out my Discord. You can find a link in the description below. We're The Murder. Anyway, with that all said, this week has flown by. We completed our first conclave, delving into a crypt, defeating our first elite mob, a captain of the Scourge. We also went to Warsong Gulch for our first PvP battle. We got stomped. We kind of expected it because we were entering as the lowest possible level in the bracket. We got to learn the map and learn the core concepts of the game. In a couple weeks, we plan to be back with a vengeance, and I encourage you to tune in then and see how we do. Right now, our group consists of me, Kniraven, the Undead Warlock, Toxemity, the Undead Forsaken Priest, Ileana, our tank, an Undead Warrior, Radar, a Forsaken Undead Mage, and Stab and Tickle, our plucky Undead Rogue. So far in the journey, I woke up in a crypt in a little town called Deathnell, where I was greeted by a gentleman called Undertaker Mordo. Mordo let me know that I was now a member of the Forsaken, who are undead freed from the Scourge being the undead army of the Lich King. The Siren Queen Sylvanas somehow freed us from control of the Lich King. She granted us our freedom, and the Lich King wants to take us back, so we all group under her banner, and we're fighting alongside her to take down the Lich King and keep our freedom. Now, how did we all become undead in the first place? So essentially, from what I understand so far, this Lich King guy let loose a magical death plague across the land. And everybody who succumbed to this plague died and arose as his undead slave or servant. And thus they are called the Scourge. So now there's this massive section of land that is diseased and it's filled with undead monstrosities, and that's where we live. We attempted to talk to the humans, our former brethren, and tell them we're not with the Lich King, we're not part of the Scourge. But the humans were like, "Ah, monster! Disgusting villain, plague!" They wouldn't listen to us, and they're trying to murder us with fire and pitchforks. Now we have, on one side, the Lich King and the Scourge trying to turn us back into slaves, and on the other side, our former brethren trying to murder us with pitchforks and fire, not distinguishing us in any way. We're getting screwed from both angles. So we're like, shit, what are we gonna do? And what we do is we find allies in the Horde. This is why we are part of the Horde faction, which includes the Tauren, the Orcs, the Trolls, and us. For us, this is an alliance of convenience. We consider the other members of the Horde to be beneath us, primitive, bestial. We don't have a lot of respect for them. We're allied with them because if we weren't, we would be overrun and destroyed. It's an interesting setup. A lot of NPCs have told me that we, as the Forsaken, are the race that has suffered more than any in all of Azeroth, which is the continent that this takes place on. So we're the emo kids. Nobody has suffered as much as us. Nobody feels the pain of us Forsaken. Everybody is out to get us. But yeah, we have no respect for our allies. The humans we used to be part of now fear us and want to destroy us because we're monsters. The undead army we just became free from is trying to take us back. So Undertaker Mordo sends me to this guy called Shadow Priest Sarvis at a chapel down the hill in the town of Deathnell. Shadow Priest Sarvis tells me the village is plagued by mindless ones, which are former Forsaken that have had their memories wiped, and they're once again servants of the Lich King, I guess. If I understand correctly, the mindless ones were members of the Lich King's army that were freed by the Banshee Queen Sylvanas in order to become Forsaken, like us, but then they were taken back, or their minds were erased, or deteriorated to the point they could no longer act freely, kind of sad really, and now they are once more these like mindless zombies of the Lich King. So Sarvis wants me to go wipe them all out and help clear this village. I guess the Forsaken have recently come to this village and they're starting to make it more of a home base. I don't know how recently Sylvanas freed us from the Lich King. Did it just happen last week? I have no clue. I help them take out zombies and make the place safe for us to use as a home base. Also in the chapel, I meet Venya, who is a warlock trainer, and she recognizes that I have chaos, this shadow power inside of me that I can harness. I too can be a warlock like her. She teaches me to summon an imp by the name of Rupla. If you are a warlock, when you learn a new summon, you bind yourself to a demon, and that demon is your summon from that point forward. The names are randomly generated, so when you summon your demon, it is assigned a name, and that is its name permanently. That will always be the name from that point forward. It's cool. Talking to her and other warlock trainers, I'm led to believe that the method in which we bind these demons to ourselves as warlocks is similar to how the Lich King binds the Scourge. Some of the other warlocks in the game gave me this rhetoric that as warlocks, we are in fact better than other people, and we deserve to be above and bind others into our service. So is the Lich King some great warlock? I don't know, maybe. In exchange for clearing out zombies, scavenging for supplies, helping people recover goods from allies who fell in caves and stuff outside the town. They provide me with advice, armor, and knowledge about what's going on in this area. It's not clear to me whether as a newly awoken Forsaken, someone who I am told they weren't sure was going to wake up, and if I didn't, they were going to throw me into a fire, if I retain memories from my past life or not. I'm led to believe that I do, because it seems other Forsaken throughout the village have memories of their prior lives. Maybe I should make some kind of lore for who my character was before he became a member of the Forsaken. What if I have family who are still in the human lands who escaped the plague? Anyway, after I finish helping people in Death Knell, they send me on to a town called Brill, where they think that I can continue to help. On the way, I meet this giant abomination zombie with 3 arms who tells me that he's trying to find weed for his master, and he threatens to beat me up unless I help him. I find weed for his master, but his master tells me that it's the wrong kind of weed or something. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the minutia of every single little quest, but what basically did happen was I found that not every single Forsaken is 100% gung-ho about serving Banshee Queen Sylvanas, and some of them feel we're still slaves, but now under a different master. Maximilian the Warlock is one such person who said this, and he informed me that it wasn't treacherous because questioning the authority of the Banshee Queen is in the spirit of what Sylvanas wants, because she wants us to be free. I mean, whatever helps you sleep at night, dude. I also meet an apothecary named Johann who has me get pumpkins for him to curse and poison. Then he has me feed them to human prisoners, and it turns them into Forsaken. It expands upon itself, and I'm informed that him and the other apothecary have been instructed by Sylvanas to figure out a way to recreate the plague that transformed everybody into undead, so she can raise her own army of Forsaken to go against the Lich King, but also in order to convert the remaining human populace or something. If we make all of our loved ones into undead Forsaken monsters just like us, then I guess they won't try to burn us with fire anymore. Anyway, the Scourge, the Lich King's army, is pressing in on one side of our territory, and the Scarlet Crusade of the Church armies is pressing in on the other side. And I'm sent out to try and help fend from both. I have to kill a whole bunch of mindless undead. I have to kill a whole bunch of priests and paladins. At one point, we find the Scourge setting up a base of operations at a farm to the north. And I'm assigned to go there and assassinate their captain, this powerful elite skeleton creature, who I'm given the impression is intelligent, that he has some level of freedom or cognitive ability. So I'm left to question whether or not the Scourge are all mindless zombies, or whether they're just an opposing faction, whether the freedom we were given is propaganda, or whether it's some sort of Giez or mental hook. Maybe they are intelligent, thinking, feeling, I'm not sure. But taking out this captain was our group Conclave. We did it with the party. And since proving myself in this way, the leadership and Brill have sent me to the Undercity, which, as I understand, is the Forsaken capital. There, I was able to meet Sylvanas face to face. I mean, she didn't really talk to me, but I saw her. I was in her face. I mean, I was beneath her. I mean, literally, because she's really tall. You know, it doesn't matter. I have this new warlock trainer named Karadin, and he tells me I am ready to summon a Voidwalker, a new, bigger, more badass demon to control. All I have to do is go recover the Grimoire of Egelin, who was the first warlock to ever summon one. Apparently, the Scarlet Crusade stole the Grimoire, and I've got to go take it back. When I do, I'm going to get my own giant blueberry monster, and we'll see what his name is in the next episode. Anybody have any comments or thoughts on the story, whether you liked it?
I mean, so far it's mostly just setting up stuff. It has good potential, but it's just a set piece right now.
I'm not saying shit because I know there's a whole expansion, so there's that.
It's very basic. You start getting hailed as, oh my god, look at this person, they're amazing. We're going to send you to better places. It's following the formula, or I guess it's the original, but yeah.
I mean, you're just getting the idea of how you've been brought back to life and the relationship between the Scourge or the Forsaken at this point. It's a decent storyline for what they say, and it's kind of interesting seeing it from an Undead's point of view, you know, with all the rotting and stuff. So it's definitely different than starting in other zones.
How do you think it compares to the intro story in other MMOs you played?
I never paid attention to the Perfect World story quest. I'll be honest, I don't know if there was a main story. I just know that we were at war with some wraiths or something, but I think Final Fantasy does a better job of grabbing attention earlier with the opening sequence, whereas with WoW, you just wake up in a crypt and go to the first city and you're like, hey, I just woke up, and they send you to do things.
I think it does a better job at saying what's going on and painting a larger picture faster than Newer does, which is more local focused.
If you were comparing it versus New World, old New World when we first started didn't give you shit for information. You had to dig. This at least gives you guidance. I think New World came back and is now better because it actually explains shit, which is fucking wild. Other MMOs mostly just cut and paste what WoW did.
Classic is clunky, I would say. There's a lot more pauses between ability uses, so it's not nearly as smooth flowing, but it gets a little bit better as you get higher level. So right now, it's going to seem like you're just auto-attacking with some periodic spell blasts, but they fix that a lot in like retail. Or once you just get higher level, you'll have other options you can fill in the dead time with.
What do you guys think of the controls and the combat system?
I wish I could move the pop-ups around. Not being able to move my quest log somewhere else on my screen really irks me.
For me, this could just be I'm getting used to it, but I dislike the walking backwards with the S key. I would prefer my character turns around and begins running towards me. That's how it is in Final Fantasy with legacy controls. That's how it was in PWI. That's how it is in almost every other MMO I've played that has WASD movement. And I just like that a lot better. How do you guys like the combat system? I don't like the global cooldown. It's not unique to WoW. Final Fantasy has a global cooldown too. I don't like it there either.
It's more of a strategy thing because it's another management thing.
The one thing I'll say is when I tab to an enemy and I can run to it, I'll auto attack. Like, I don't have to keep hitting one. I don't like that if I don't face my enemy, my character doesn't automatically face.
That's a juke thing.
In tab targeting MMOs, I'm used to if you're out of range or not facing the proper direction for your character to hit somebody or to hit your target. When you hit the skill, your character will auto turn towards the direction they're supposed to turn and will walk within range of the target. I'm back and forth. It obviously makes playing way easier to have it that way, but I can definitely see the strategic elements with having to manage distance and facing.
Yeah, kiting and dodging is a skill, especially for when it comes to PvP.
It feels awkward to me, but maybe I'll get used to it.
The animations are excellent for everything. Very well animated. The spell effects and the casting effects and stuff, they all look very nice.
What I really like about them is I can tell what is being cast when it is cast. It's very easy for me to tell the difference between the abilities that are being used. And in addition to that, the effects don't clutter my screen and make it hard to figure out what the hell's going on. That was a really big problem for me getting into Final Fantasy. So many of the abilities effects are super flashy with lots of particle effects and lights everywhere. If multiple people are all doing stuff in the same space, it's a laser light show on the screen, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? This is an old MMO, but what does everybody think of the graphics?
Doo-doo.
It actually looks really good compared to other 2004 games.
Yeah, it's stylized, so it holds up pretty well.
It's just cartoony because that's the art style.
I like the buildings as well. Let's
What do you
see.
mean the buildings?
If we go to Perfect World, buildings were, for the most part, non-existent. They were there, but you couldn't enter 99% of the buildings. They were basically just boxes in the game. If I look at Final Fantasy buildings, I have to right-click them and then teleport within the building. I like that so far every single building, even if it has multiple floors, they're all existent on the same map. I'm not loading into a new zone. I like how space is managed.
Yeah, I
I
did like that,
disagree with-
especially with the elevators going down into the Undercity.
What do you guys think about the difficulty level? I did die a few times from slowly killing things and advancing forward, then having stuff respawn on top of me.
That depends strongly on what class you are and at what stage of the game you are. It's harder to survive for different classes, and it also depends on what type of mobs you're facing. They have different respawn timers.
For me, the place I died the most was one of the towers with the Scarlet Crusaders, because I was killing everything and advancing on the tower. Then I'm standing in front of the tower fighting, but they all spawned on top of me and annihilated me.
I died a lot with spiders.
Here's a difficult spider thing.
It was a side quest. It was like venoms from vicious web spiders. It didn't say to go into a cave, but I found them, and this is when I was still level 8 and they were higher level than me.
Oh yeah, I did that recently, but I was at level 11. Yeah, it's really easy to aggro things when you're not trying to, and as a mage, I'm very squishy, so I've died a few times.
Oh, yeah,
The only
more.
time I've died is when I wasn't paying attention, or I was doing other stuff and play at the same time.
It's very based on your class. Classes have it much easier. Pet classes, like I'm sure hunters can kick some butt right now. Rogue was a bitch. Like that's what I'm playing right now, obviously. And there's been times that if you just get one extra mob that aggroed onto you because it wandered too close, you're just totally effed, and now you're going to be running for 3 minutes from the goddamn graveyard.
What's everybody's overall impression of the game? I'm enjoying it so far. I'm actually really interested in the story. I'm having fun. I think I'll continue to enjoy it.
The questing is very simplistic, but I do like finding where you have to quest. It's kind of fun. Overall, I think it's very formulaic, but that would be expected.
It's nostalgic for me because I played in middle school up until Lich King.
It's alright.
We haven't even really done much though. It's still like the starter zone, so there's that too.
Overall impression, I think it's better than standard classic. I like the runes and some of the little changes that offers. I found 3 of the runes already. The first one that I found, pickpocketing some dude, gave me this teleported backstab where I'm stealth and I can teleport behind somebody from range and backstab them immediately. That's one of the ones I'm using. I found another one called Quick Draw. It allows me to use a ranged weapon and fire a shot that kind of gives them 50% movement speed decrease for a little bit.
The next goals we're going to have are to level up to 19 so we can do Ragefire Chasm and try to PvP again together when we're not at the lowest level in the bracket. We're going to try and get to 15 by Thursday. We're going to try and get the best gear we can. If you get something that is tradable but doesn't work for your class, try and see if somebody else is able to use it. We'll try to do level 19 and PvP again the following week. And that gives us a little bit of extra time to not only level but also try to get gear specifically for it. And I'll put out a Discord post for everybody. Hey Knights, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. For more awesome content, catch me live on Twitch or follow me on Twitter. Just search Kniraven or visit Kniraven.com. Thanks for the support, and see you next time.